The last time we saw you out here in St. Gallen was in '86. Was my first day at this radio station, by the way. Oh, yeah. I remember how excited everybody at the station was back then to have your show live on the air. I guess we could talk endlessly about how music and the world have changed in the meantime. Do you remember '86 at all?
Yeah, sure. I do. Believe it or not. Vaguely, you know, I mean, it's a while ago. I mean, yeah. 80s, I mean, the show, I do actually kind of remember because I remember because of the location and everything, and I remember we were driving around and it was driving our tour manager and management crazy by just taking off all the time in different cars and saying, yeah, I'll see you there at the next festival.
you were touring behind Listen Like Thieves. I guess it was like conquering Europe for the first time back then.
Yeah, or Kick, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Open Air.
Good times, yeah.
Open Air St. Gallen 86, dann haben wir In Excess als junge Stürmi schon übertragen, live auf der DS3. Damals sind sie gerade entdeckt worden bei uns mit dem Album Listen Like Thieves. Der Markus hat gefragt, ob sich der Michael überhaupt noch erinnert an das Jahr 86. Man hat ziemlich genaue Erinnerungen noch. Es ist ein bisschen die Phase gesehen, wo In Excess Europa erobert haben. Und sie sind hin und her gejagt worden von Festival zu Festival.
Logistische Probleme wie üblich bei dem ganzen Tourwahnsinn. Considering that the musical and personal formula of In Excess hasn't changed too much since then, I thought that there must be something still exciting about working like this.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It depends. You know, we're not a band who changes per album in giant leaps. We tend to change within the album. So we cover a lot of territory per record, I think. You know, Listen Like Thieves to Kick to, you know, Welcome to Wherever You Are. Welcome to Wherever You Are. We did everything from big band to kind of drums and bass. You know, so we cover a lot of territory within records. We've all got very different tastes. We're completely different people, actually.
So it must be a hard process to get things together if you're writing an album, recording it, or is it a smooth process?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes no. I mean, sometimes it's really smooth. On this record, it was very smooth. In fact, it was so smooth, we just kept all the demos and basically put that out.
Wenn In Excess heute immer noch mit einer ähnlichen musikalischen Formel und mit den gleichen Leuten arbeiten, das heisst ja dann irgendwie auch, dass es immer noch spannend ist. Und der Michael sagt, sie haben sich von Album zu Album eigentlich nicht gross verändert. Bei ihnen fanden Veränderungen innerhalb von der Alben statt. Sie sind sehr verschiedene Leute und da ist es immer ein bisschen schwierig, all die Einflüsse auf einen Nenner zu bringen.
Talking about the new record, the making of the new record, Elegantly Wasted, it was a step in the opposite direction of today's recording habits, I guess. What was the thought behind the decision to record proper demos with small but high quality gear?
Yeah, well, it didn't really occur to us until we actually started, and Andrew and I were working together, and we had, you know, you can get stuff. I don't know if people know out there, but you can get stuff now that you can, 8 tracks a DAT, and it's
digital
the size of a briefcase, you know, and we chuck a bunch of crap into the room, and we start writing songs, and it occurred to us after the first song. By midnight, I'd written the lyrics, I'd sung the song, and it's called "Show Me" on the album, and it's the first song that ended up on the album. And we thought, well, wait a minute. This is it. So we continued in that vein, and it was cool, you know. It's kind of lo-fi, hi-fi. It's whatever you want to do. It just takes all the pressure away, and we just enjoy it.
Die NXS haben für das neue Album ein bisschen anders geschafft als sonst. Sie haben sehr gute Demos gemacht mit sehr gutem Equipment, und für den Michael ist es toll gewesen, herauszufinden, dass man eigentlich schon ein Demoband so herstellen kann, dass man es für eine Platte dann auch brauchen kann, weil es hängt alles ein bisschen am Equipment, dass es heute schon Sachen gibt, die eben sehr gut sind und mit wenig Aufwand kann tolle Sachen machen.
Were there times when the band was afraid of losing its bite, when the band was afraid maybe to become lounge lizards instead of keeping your jobs sharp? I mean, the great lifestyle in luxury and abundance and so on.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on who you ask in the band, you know. Well, I always consider myself a lounge lizard anyway, so I don't really. I mean, you know, the reason why bands' second albums usually don't work very well is because all the terror of a real life and all the ups and downs of a real life are not presenting themselves to you anymore. Sometimes, if your first album is very successful. So you don't have the turmoil and the angst, you know. We live in a time of great angst, and you don't have as much angst technically anymore. So what do you do? What do you say? You know, suddenly you are on a couch for too long. So I think luckily for us, we didn't have that. Our first album nobody heard, our second album virtually nobody ever heard, our third album a couple of people heard, our fourth album people started to hear, and our fifth album was going pretty good, and our sixth album was Kick, and it was enormous. So we slowly got there through a lot of hard work, a lot of live gigs. You know, we don't come from, you know, hey boys, here's a new haircut and here's a new first album, and gee, that was big, and now it's all over. You know, Andy Warhol was wrong. It's not 15 minutes; it's 5 minutes now. You know, we come from 5 years of fucking touring before we got a contract.
Yeah, right.
You know, so.
INXS ist eine von diesen Bands, die nicht ganz über Nacht einfach so schnell einen Erfolg haben. Sie haben 5 Alben lang sind sie praktisch nicht groß beachtet worden, und erst mit Kick hat es dann angefangen einschenken, und das ist auch gut für eine Band, weil man dann den Biss nicht verliert, weil die Gefahr ist groß, dass wenn man am Anfang einen riesen Erfolg hat, dass man dann einfach ein bisschen auf dem Sofa rumsitzt und es gut hat, und dabei muss man gar nicht große Musik machen, und das ist bei ihnen nicht gesehen.
Und der Michael Hutchence hat auch gesagt, er habe nie Angst gehabt, Lounge-Leser, dass ein Salonleute zu werden und damit Schärfe verlieren, weil er hat sich in erster Linie schon zum Vornherein immer als Salonleute gesehen. Es kommt darauf an, wer in der Band, dass man die Frage stellt. Now, tell me about your feelings about going on tour right now. I guess life on the road has its drawbacks when you have a little daughter at home.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially you miss seeing their front teeth grow and stupid things like that. But I think it gives you a special energy to have a child. It gives you a special energy, and you have to sort of keep your eye on the ball. And you have to say, well, okay, this is what I do, and she wants me, whether she knows it or not, to do what I want to do best and do it right, because ultimately it's for her. You know what I mean? You have to keep that in your mind. It's very difficult at times. But then again, I'm the last guy just about. John hasn't got any kids. I'm about the last guy to have one. Well, I've got 4 now, but I sort of inherited 3 stepdaughters. But, you know, Tim's got a 14-year-old son. You know, the last time we saw him, he was moshing in the pier, smashing pumpkins, and they were playing a medley of our songs in Sydney, you know. So it gets weirder and weirder.
So does it happen that you look back at times when your bandmates had their children and you understand things that were happening then to them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always been very aware and sensitive to that issue, because I've seen guys, you know, break down and just cry and, you know, say, I can't do this. I haven't seen my baby for 4 months. She doesn't even know who I am anymore. You know, it's very, very difficult. And anybody that's got kids out there will know what it's like to have a 9 to 5 and leave at 9 in the morning. You can't wait to get back at 5, you know.
And how long do you have to wait
3
to
months,
go back?
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky because I'm based up in Europe. Everybody else is in Australia, so it's much tougher on them. But hey, you know, you know, when we got time off or whatever, you know, in the end, you know, I guess we'll be able to have so much bloody time that they'll be sick of us, you know.
Der Michael hat eine kleine Tochter, und es ist schwierig manchmal für ihn, auf die Tour zu sein und sie nicht zu sehen, wie sie sich entwickelt. Schlussendlich macht er aber den Job auch für sie, sagt er, ein bisschen pathetisch. Er versteht jetzt zum Beispiel auch, wie es andere Bandmitglieder haben, die jetzt Kinder haben im Alter von 14, 15, wo sie einmal sehen an der Konzert, zum Beispiel von den Smashing Pumpkins, wenn sie in Australien spielen, und Medley spielen von INXS-Songs.
Und er erinnert sich auch daran, wie damals seine Bandkollegen wahnsinnig Mühe hatten, wenn sie getrennt sind von der Familie und so weiter. Er hat es ein bisschen einfacher, weil er in Europa, sagen wir in England, jetzt stationiert ist. Und er hat ja nicht nur ein Kind, sondern hat, wie er gesagt hat, 3 geerbte Stiefkinder. Also er hat jetzt eine Familie von 4 Kindern. So, do you plan a future life as a family man then? 1 child, 3 inherited stepchildren?
I have one right now, you know. I've been doing that for 2 or 3 years, you know. and it suits me. I've always loved kids, and it's natural to me. It's no big deal. I don't see a lot of people look at me in a very cartoon fashion. They look at me in a very blinkered way. They just think I'm some guy that sits around nightclubs all night or something and getting in trouble or something. I'm not that person. That's a very tiny part of me that gets blown out of proportion by assholes in the media.
But I guess the tabloids will miss you sorely when you.
I wish they missed me now. But I seem to make them too much money. I'm well exploited. If I could charge 10% for every bloody article, but I mean, it's a question of I believe in respect of people, and I believe in good stuff, and I'm a good person, and I love family, and I feel really good in that situation, and I think children are the future, and I really believe that, and I really believe I'm going to do all I can to ensure that she has a great future.
I mean, I second that emotion, but that isn't the thing that sells records. Huge, massive.
Selling records. See, there's a great misconception, and I think it's men who make it so, because men are so sensitive about their masculinity and their balls and their dicks that they tend to think in terms of once you have a child that you are emasculated and are thrown into the kitchen and you are now useless as an entity, and that's crap. That really is crap. And if you can't do both, if you can't be you want to be a man, try go to Pizza Hut with 7 kids for 3 hours for lunch. Then we'll see who's a man.
You're talking to family man.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
Man hat ein bisschen falsches Bild von Michael. Er ist sehr wohl ein Family Man. Er würde auch viel lieber weniger Schlagzeilen über sich selber lesen. Er würde auch gerne 10% kriegen für jeden Artikel, der über ihn geschrieben wird.
Ich finde ziemlich böse Worte über das, was über ihn einmal geschrieben wird. Und er wird es sicher nicht vermissen, wenn das mal weg ist. Und das Stichwort, dass sonnige Schlagzeilen eben auch Platten verkaufen. Schlagzeilen, Michael Hutchence als Vater gibt einen Moment lang Schlagzeilen, aber ein Familienmensch verkauft keine Rock'n'Roll-Platte. Er sagt, fuck Sales, also Scheiße auf Plattenverkäufe. Es geht mir um etwas anderes. Und er hat gesagt, was da immer rumgeistert, als wenn man mal Kinder hat und eine Familie, dann ist man kein Mann mehr, ist man sozusagen kastriert. Das ist der grösste Blödsinn, was es überhaupt gäbe.
Yeah.
Das Strengste, was es überhaupt gibt, ist zum Beispiel mit den Kindern in eine Pizza Hut gehen, mit 7 Kindern, und schauen, dass sie zu essen bekommen.
Yeah. I mean, well, to be more intellectual about it, or to be more, maybe a bit sensitive about it, what I'm trying to say is that it's, rock and roll's been around for a long time, and this is kind of one of the last bastions, like the Hells Angels and road crews and and mercenaries in war of maledom, and it still is. Rock and roll's a horrifically macho world, and what I'm trying to say is, we have to break down all that rubbish. A man is a man, and that's many things. And it's to be able to nurture a child and be strong and lead and not just be some idiot who can't even get it together for a child because he's in the pub. You know what I mean? Mm. To be a real man is to be real strong and to lead and take that child somewhere and teach them and be wise. That's all I'm saying.
Also nochmal eine Bestätigung von dem. Richtiger Mann ist nicht einer, der mit einer Rock'n'Roll-Band rumhängt und nicht daheim ist, wenn das Kind ihn braucht, sondern wo eben den Platz beim Kind hat und wir müssen das bekämpfen, all der Mythos, der mit dem Rock'n'Roll zusammenhängt.
Macho-Tum im Rock'n'Roll, ja, mit der Harley-Davidson Gangs und so weiter.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to talk to you, Markus.
Well, at any time.
Thanks a lot. Have a good concert.
Thank you very much. I will. Can't wait. Can't wait.